Alright, what is up guys? Losermaniac here, and welcome to a video where this is kind of like, I didn't really plan on making this sort of video until I was watching Gerard the Completionist videos. He talked about his best games that he played of 2020 or whatever, so I decided to do the same. Now, I think most of these games I have on here did not come out in 2020. But these are games I have played in 2020. And don't expect me to do this for 2021, for this year and so on, because I can't. So I'm gonna have to order I'm gonna have to order these based off what I think of them, even though some of these yeah, hold on. Let me organize these. So as I'm going through, let me talk about criterias for some of these. Yes, I do understand that these games did not come out this year. I'm not talking about that. These are just some of the games I have played that, to be honest, would have made the list again if I had made one for last year, because well, why not? Now, these aren't the first time I have played these games. Some of these games aren't the first time I have played them in this year. So one of these games I have played since last year, and so on. So with that, but these are games I have played, and I feel like these are dominant to what I have. Now, one of these on here is one of the picks for my list. One of my picks for the list, I do have the physical game of some of these, but one of them I do not have the physical copy of. I do have the download version, so I will talk about that. In no particular order, let's get started with number 5. My number 5 pick is Fallout New Vegas, the Ultimate Edition. As you guys can see here, this video is gonna be flipped anyway, so more likely you will see that it is properly the Ultimate Edition, even though backwards it just looks Edition Ultimate. Really a really fun game. I feel like this is one that every gamer who wants to, or not every gamer, but I feel like if anyone wants to get into the Fallout franchise, I do feel like it's either Fallout New Vegas Vanilla or Fallout Ultimate Edition that people go for. So yeah. Speaking of which, number 4 is Fallout 4. A really fun game. I've been obsessed with this one ever since I got it. And I think this is one of the few games that I have played for 2 months straight without changing discs. I could be wrong though, but I do know for a fact that there have been certain games I have played multiple times within certain areas. Now, this next one, I will include 2. Two games take up 1 spot. And the reason that is because I feel like it's one of those where, like, this, I could put in part 1, but I do feel like the second part is better than the first one. But in order for the second one to be better than the first one, you need to have played the first one. The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. So this isn't the one I was talking about where it has the where I had the downloadable version. Personally, I feel like this game is the reason my parents got the PS4, or got me the PS4, because they consider it my console for whatever reason. It didn't come out of my wallet, but whatever. Really love the game. After I beat the first one, I was left with questions like, does Ellie eventually figure out what happened with the cure? And it turns out she does, and she's obviously not happy about it, but overall a really fantastic game. It's one of those games where, like, I hear really good things about, and yet I understand, and after playing it I understand why. This game is so fun. Yeah. So 5, 4, 3. Okay. So number 2? 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, number 2 was originally gonna be my honorable mentions, but I do feel the need, since the last game took over as my number 1 favorite. So if I didn't have the current game that I have as number one, then that game would have been number one. So number two is The Outer Worlds. Again, another, just like part two of The Last of Us, a very controversial game. I've heard mixed reviews about it. I don't know of anyone who hates the game. I know of people who dislike it. That I can kind of understand why. It's very... honestly, I don't know why, because I haven't seen a lot of like negative reviews, or I have heard people who say they don't like it, but I don't know why, because I try to avoid that type of stuff because I take shit personally. So, yeah, a really fun game. This is one of the few games that made me realize I love RPGs. Or role. I think Fallout considered an RPG. But I don't know. I'm trying to think. Does this count as an RPG? I'm not sure. You guys let me know. Is Fallout considered an RPG? I think so, because it's like role playing games, which I think is where you customize it. If it's not, then I'm into the sort of like customize your character a certain way, like perks and skills needed. So yeah, honorable mention is Horizon Zero Dawn. A wonderfully fantastic game with graphics, and to be honest, the first game I did play on the PlayStation 4 was The Last of Us Part, or not The Last of Us Part 2, was The Last of Us. Amazing graphics on that game, but then I loaded up Horizon Zero Dawn, and I instantly fell in love with the graphics. I'm not one for graphics. I do think like the old school stuff or is really amazing stuff. But overall, I gotta say, Horizon Zero Dawn takes the cake as one of the greatest graphics game I have ever seen. There's probably other games that are better than those, but to me, just booting up the game for the first time is, especially if you're used to graphics like from previous gen consoles, like the PS3, moving over to PS4 and playing Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time and seeing the amazing graphics just was absolutely amazing. The characters in the game, the story, all of it as a whole is just goddamn amazing and wonderful. The machines and enemies in the game is very different from the rest, because there's human enemies and then there's machines. Human enemies have the standard weakness of headshots, but then some of the enemies you have to work very hard to beat. Or mostly the machines. So I already talked a shit ton about how much I love The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, and on my channel. So if you guys do want to check that out, highly advise you guys do. I also reviewed the game. If you guys do want to check that out as well. Now, number one, the most. If you guys have been watching this channel, you guys know what my number one is. But probably the most controversial shit I would say ever, Cyberpunk 2077. God damn it, this game is fun. Now look, I get it. A lot of people were not happy with it. To be honest, I understand. But this is my opinion, so let me have my fucking opinions. Again, just like The Last of Us Part 2, if you don't like the game, that's fine. If you should give me shit for liking it, however, that's where we're gonna have a problem. This game, I will say, was one of those games where I bought it for mostly genitalia customization and Keanu Reeves, but I stayed for the story and the endings, because I've gotten all the endings except for the suicide ending and the secret ending, although I did watch a video on the suicide ending. Yeah, I'm not getting the suicide ending, and hold on, yeah, that works. The secret ending is just pretty straightforward. It's just taking a different approach to either the suicide, the temperance, or the sun ending. But yeah, as a whole, I gotta say, this is a surprisingly fun game. There are some stuff I do know for a fact that CD Projekt Red did release an apology in regards to the game, and they said they did update it. There were a few things I do wish they updated, like for one, the Hollow phone. I think that's what I think that's what it's called, the phone thing. I wish it worked better in vehicles because there have been multiple times I've tried to have conversation in vehicles and I want to select my choice, but I have a hard time doing that because I'm in a car. Another thing is I'm not sure if they'll update previous gen consoles because I have it on PS4 if it's not obvious by the fact that you guys see right here, PS4. First of all, I didn't even realize that this was bad for previous gen consoles. Even if I did, I don't give a shit. But overall, I do wish they are gonna update the game soon. I heard like 10 days after their apology, which I think was yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm not sure, but I hopefully they do update to make it better. I do wish they I'm not sure. I could go on and on and on, but I feel like all of my reasons as to the stuff I want updated would just be counteracted. Like I wish they had a bit more variety to the endings. Or, okay, not more variety to the endings. There's like 5 different endings. That's one more than what I'm used to. Or 6 if you consider the secret ending. Whatever. I just wish like certain certain characters had more to it. But then that would just add more. They would be calling back the the voice actors, and to my knowledge, voice acting is pretty tough and a very time consuming thing that is very difficult. I will say I did forget to mention this, so I'll talk about it here. A brief moment with this, even though if this shows up in the thumbnail, a lot of people are going to think this is just a pretty straightforward Cyberpunk video. Not Cyberpunk oriented, but it's Cyberpunk is involved. I don't like the voice acting for the male V. I'm not blaming the voice actor because he didn't decide how the character should speak or how. Yeah, how. I think I said that already. But I've been playing the female character for a while. And I've noticed that while the female V sounds very authentic, and it just seems like a real person is speaking, with the male V, it just sounds like very synthetic, like it was almost forced, you know? Again, no shit on the voice actor. I'm not shitting on the voice actor who played or who voiced the male V. Huge respect to the guy because I can never have the patience to do voice acting even if I wanted to. But, yeah, I really enjoy the game. I do love the fact that there are more customizable there are different ways you can wear clothing. Like my go-to is for my female V is sunglasses, no tank top but like a street jacket, so it's just like boobs and cleavage in the middle. Booty shorts and high heels. Although occasionally I will wear a tank top underneath the jacket if I feel. Until I find the perfect jacket where I can just freely take off the tank top and just wear the street jacket. Just because I just find it funny. I am doing very hard, not as difficult as I thought it would be, but still a lot of fun. A game that I will say was definitely worth the anger from my grandma because she is not happy with this game. I told her it's an adult game and she is bothered by the fact that I'm playing this, but at the end of the day, she can't tell me to turn it off because she didn't buy the game for me, but whatever. So yeah, I can't think of any honorable mentions. So yeah, this is my top pick for the games of 2020. Again, if you guys were expecting some games to have come out this year, and yes, technically I did beat Cyberpunk this year, but I did start it last year, and it did come out last year. So I feel, yeah, I guess putting it in this list does work because it did come out last year. Even though I did beat it this year, I don't know. I don't know if you guys would consider that the top 2021 picks, or just 2020. And I just kind of got late to the party on this one. But yeah, so let me know what are your choices for the 2020 year. If I'm gonna be very surprised if you guys pick Cyberpunk for 2020 as your best. If worst, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's all about opinions. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below top pick games for 2020 if you have any, and why. Do you agree with my list in some way? Do you disagree? Tell me why. And yes, I do understand that probably the most controversial one, aside from Cyberpunk, would definitely be Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 4. Those games didn't come out this year. Definitely not. Definitely not Fallout New Vegas. That came out like almost 10 years ago, 11 years ago. So yeah, but I did include The Last of Us Part 1 because, again, like I said already, Last of Us Part 2 did come out, I think, last year last year. Right? Yeah, because we were still doing that whole quarantine bullshit. Which means I had more time to play it. So yeah. Yeah. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. A lot of percentage of people who do watch this channel are not actually subscribed. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind. And if you do hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that bell notification if you guys want to be updated for more videos, because I don't have a schedule, so it's just upload when I can. So yeah, with that being said, Loser Manic out.